Logan, you stole 40 million in tokens from me. You are a scam artist. You are a liar, and you betrayed your own community. You aren't that guy. Logan replies, "Oh, trust me, bro, I am that guy."
Paul is going to get his grand slam at the end of this case if it goes to trial. The thing I keep going back to is the fact that Coffeezilla was in continuing communication with the FBI and FCC about Logan Paul and CryptoZoo.
We don't scam. I've never scammed anyone before. Logan cares extremely deeply about his audience, loves his brand, doesn't have to scam to make money.
Imagine this. Logan Paul has just been arrested, right at the moment when the FBI finally uncovers all the evidence in the CryptoZoo scandal. The internet is exploding, investors are panicking, and his business empire, including Prime Drink, is under extreme scrutiny.
Logan Paul might have gotten taken down by YouTuber Coffeezilla for good because he's now being hit with a class action lawsuit over CryptoZoo.
But what's the real story? Has Logan Paul really been taken into custody? And if so, what does this mean for the CryptoZoo fraud case and the millions of dollars at stake?
Infamous project CryptoZoo, which was a Pokemon game-like project. CryptoZoo was announced in 2021, raised a couple $1 million, and still hasn't been launched. It seems like a classic rug pull.
In today's video, we're breaking down the full truth, the potential consequences, the legal fallout, and why this could be one of the biggest celebrity scandals of the year. Stay tuned, because what you're about to see might shock even Logan Paul's biggest fans. So guys, as you might already know, investors poured millions of dollars into CryptoZoo, trusting Logan Paul and his team. They were promised a groundbreaking game, but in reality, they got nothing. No playable game, no profits, just empty promises.
To continuously lie, lead people on, hype people up, to put more money in, all the while in the background, things are going down, things are hitting the fan, and you left us holding the bag.
And as you can imagine, the backlash was swift. Investors began speaking out, claiming they had been scammed. Emails, screenshots, and transaction records revealed that CryptoZoo raised funds without delivering the product, a textbook case of potential fraud in the crypto world.
That gives me the right to see Logan Paul, to meet and greet with him, and I will actually use that right to tell him this story again, show him this video in front of me, and see how he reacts when he sees that my family, my whole family and my kid are affected with this situation, because I think that's not human.
By mid-2022, the outrage was real. Social media exploded with allegations. Reddit threads, Twitter feeds, and YouTube comments questioned the ethics of the project. And that's when Coffeezilla, the investigative YouTuber, stepped in to expose the full story.
So they say they're going to go back and fix it now. So Logan, after being not involved for like a year, as soon as my video comes out, he goes, "Damn, what a coincidence. Like, I've been working on it. Like, I was going to, launch it." In reality, he hadn't touched it for a very long period of time.
Coffeezilla released a 3-part expose detailing everything, from the empty promises to investor losses. He documented emails, social media interactions, and fundraising records, exposing the gap between what Logan Paul said and what was actually delivered.
Of course, at the center of it, we have Logan Paul himself, who has abandoned this thing. Thousands of victims in his wake.
CryptoZoo.co. We don't scam. I've never scammed anyone before. Logan cares extremely deeply about his audience, loves his brand, doesn't have to scam to make money.
The allegations were serious: fraud, misrepresentation, and deception. And as the expose gained millions of views, Logan Paul's reputation began to crumble.
For a lot of people do see dollar signs. Like any burgeoning industry, if there's money to be made, there's going to be both good and bad people.
There's a lot of shady characters in the crypto space. I'm learning all of it. We had an issue with CryptoZoo, where our lead developer took the code that he made, fled to Switzerland.
After the expose, Logan Paul filed a defamation lawsuit against Coffeezilla, claiming that the videos damaged his reputation. But this move only drew more attention to the CryptoZoo scandal. The lawsuit is still ongoing, with trial set for May 2026. But as the case moves forward, a lot of questions remain. Can Logan Paul prove actual malice, that Coffeezilla knowingly lied? Will investors' evidence from CryptoZoo strengthen Coffeezilla's defense? And what could happen if Logan Paul loses the case?
If there is any single element that Paul fails to prove, he loses. And so basically, Logan Paul has to prove that Coffeezilla made a false statement of fact about him to a third party with actual malice. And he also has to prove that the statement was the kind of statement that would cause reputational harm, and that Logan Paul, in fact, did suffer reputational harm as a result of the thing that Coffeezilla said about him.
Now, imagine this scenario. The FBI, after reviewing all the evidence from CryptoZoo, investor complaints, and communications with Coffeezilla, decides to take action. If Logan Paul were to lose the defamation case against Coffeezilla, it could expose him to more scrutiny and potential criminal investigation. Hypothetically, if authorities believe there's sufficient evidence of fraud or misrepresentation, Logan Paul could face arrest or further legal consequences. This isn't just speculation. History shows that whistleblower evidence, combined with public complaints and financial records, often leads to serious investigations. And in Logan's case, everything is now under a microscope. According to sources and legal experts, Logan Paul could be facing very bad news by the end of the year. It's not just that Coffeezilla is going up against him in court or that Logan sued Coffeezilla. The bigger concern is that Coffeezilla has already handed all his evidence over to the FBI. This could make the situation extremely serious for Logan, and it's why many are watching closely to see how this legal battle unfolds.
Paul is going to get his grand slam at the end of this case if it goes to trial. The thing I keep going back to is the fact that Coffeezilla was in continuing communication with the FBI and FCC about Logan Paul and CryptoZoo, and they investigated and followed up with Coffeezilla about the investigation. So when it comes to the very essential element of actual malice that Logan Paul needs to prove, he has to prove that Coffeezilla, at the time that he made the allegedly defamatory statements, knew that what he was saying was false, or at the very least was reckless as to the falsity of those statements.
This essentially means that Logan Paul may have nowhere to run, no easy way to escape this legal storm. With the FBI already taking action and evidence in their hands, his situation has become extremely precarious. Right now, Logan Paul is facing one of the worst legal crises of his career. People online have also started expressing serious concern about the situation. Here are some of the comments. One person said, "Even if Logan loses everything, he'll still have his dumb fans who keep watching his podcast and buying his merch. At this point, Logan is set for life. It's his dumb fans that keep him around. Same goes for people like Wes Watson and Jack Doherty. Dumb teenagers and young kids prop these adults up." Another person wrote, "I would love to see Logan Paul behind bars." Someone else commented, "Bro hated on people and got what he deserved. If this is true, then hopefully they make him delete all his social media platforms and pay back everyone he scammed." Another user said, "Logan Paul's reputation was already trash before he started these crypto scams." And one more said, "This only confirms Logan Paul's reputation. He should be held liable for court costs on this." So now everyone on social media and beyond agrees on one thing. Logan Paul must be held accountable, and he needs to refund all the victims' money as soon as possible. Logan Paul's troubles didn't stop with CryptoZoo. Other controversies piled up. His public reactions to the CryptoZoo expose were defensive and confrontational, showing a pattern of unwillingness to admit mistakes. Social media backlash grew, with memes, news coverage, and investor outrage constantly reminding the world of his failed project.
Logan, you stole 40 million in tokens from me. You are a scam artist. You are a liar, and you betrayed your own community. You aren't that guy. Logan replies, "Oh, trust me, bro. I am that guy."
Prime Drink, his business venture, also came under scrutiny as people questioned the credibility of his brand after the CryptoZoo fiasco. One after another, his empire started to show cracks, a combination of public anger, investor lawsuits, and potential legal consequences for fraud. So, what do you think? Could Logan Paul really be facing criminal charges? Will he finally have to answer to investors and authorities for CryptoZoo? Or will he somehow survive this storm? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe to follow this story as it unfolds. Because one thing is clear, this saga is far from over.